The Kingdom of Italy, a nation owned by Luca with roughly 200 or more members, known for their glorious victories, pizzas, sussy group chat, and having beef with the Bonapartist Kingdom of Spain. The Bonapartist Kingdom of Spain, or just Spain, is owned by Ain't No Sunshine, then also known as Ahmed, with roughly more than 500 members. Spain is known for their drama, controversies with Italy, flexing their rally photos even though they lost, and a pain in the ass in the campaign and tribulation community. Story of the beef all begun in mid-April, where Spain first joined the community. Their first community battle didn't go well due to them rallying ate and sold their flags hard. Spain had a lot of flaws, and was going downhill ever since. Spain suffered for lack of activity, disorganization, dead divisions with no rankers or staff, and other internal problems that Spain today never recovered from it. An individual named Imperial Alexios, who was a former Spanish soldier who defected into Italy due to those problems. Before Imperial defected, he made Italy and Spain as allies. However, Ahmed, the leader of Spain, was angry about Imperial's defection from Spain to Italy, that he went crying to Luca and Juge, asking them to exile Imperial from Italy. Ahmed also accused Italy for poaching Imperial into Italy, and he even sent an ultimatum directly to Italy to exile Imperial, otherwise Spain would declare war on Italy. After that, Spain officially declared war on Italy. Italian Brigadier General Juge calls for help to the Empire of Austria, where the Ottomans, Warsaw, and Spain are against the Italian kingdom. Austria later accepts the military alliance with Italy to fight together against the three nations. Before that, in the 12th of May, Imperial Alexios stated, quote, "Respectfully, with hate and grudge aside, there is nothing false about you being the aggressor on the Kingdom of Italy, by making the first move to send an ultimatum to Viceroy d'Italia, Luca, to exile me for deserting the Bonapartist Kingdom of Spain, and rightfully so, and harass Generale di Brigata, Juge, and accuse the Kingdom of Italy of poaching me. Respectfully, don't spread your own falsehoods and false propaganda, and let the truth speak for itself." End quote. Imperial Alexios stated that before he defected, he tried to suggest reforms in order for Spain to survive, maintain its reputation, and get it back to its roots, but the Spanish High Command and Ahmed doesn't give two fucks. After that, Imperial defected that Valaya and 2IC of Spain, who heard the reason for defection, got mad, and started to remove everybody from an old GC they were in. Imperial listened to him, and they told a bunch of bullshit to guilt trip him for defecting, just like he did before, same with Ahmed. And then that's how the beef started. Later on the 13th of May, the Kaiser of Austria formally declares war on Spain. In response, more nations joined the war, Westphalia supporting the Americans, the Ottomans declaring war on America, which backfired, the British Empire declaring war on Italy because Britain hates the United States, who was an Italian ally, and Wallonia and Corsica supporting Italy in the war against Spain. However, most of the nations later directed their focus on the then ongoing war in the Asturian-Filipino War, and the American presence in Serbia, and posed no significant threat in the conflict. With all of that aside, the nations of the Kingdom of Italy, Archduchy of Corsica, and the Kingdom of Wallonia is at war with the Kingdom of Bonapartist Spain. However, the Spanish won the first battle with a 133 ticket difference. However, in the second battle, the Italians won with a 464 ticket difference, and finally the last battle where the Italians won again with a 1,347 ticket difference. Before the war ends, Tsar Bloxy, the leader of the Russian Empire, decided to support Spain. This later backfired, where the Empire of Astoria and Kingdom Svalbard declaring war on Russia in support for Italy. The Spanish-Italian War officially ended on the 16th of June, the same day where Italy officially declares war on Russia for supporting Spain. The Russian Tsar was later forfeited by Brigadier General Juge by giving Russia a few fair terms, states Italy and their allies will leave Russia at peace, Russia cannot join any future wars of Italy and their allies, and Italy agreeing to not get any territory from Russia. The Tsar acknowledged the forfeit, and the war in Russia ended quickly without engagement, and successfully ending tensions. Before the war, Spain and Italy followed some terms, stating, the losing side will create a channel named the Our Masters, a channel dedicated as a tribute to the victors of the war. This channel will stay up for 5 whole weeks, and the losing side will have to announce their defeat by pinging everyone about quote-unquote suffered and decisive loss by the other side. Both sides later agreed to these old terms. However, those old terms were not followed by Spain, so Italians decided to come up to a new terms. A Google document named Annexation, later named the Treaty of Andalusia 1812. The treaty lists Spain must recognize Italy and their allies as victors of the conflict. Spain has to announce their decisive defeat against Italy. Spain can't go to any future wars against Italy and its allies for 7 months, and call back its troops. But luckily, Spain did not get annexed. The Italians and its allies decides to agree to let Spain keep their throne and government freely. However, Spain lost significant territory to the victors. Spain lost all of their sea access, with Italy claiming the southern region of Andalusia, namely Córdoba, Seville, Granada, and Malaga on the south, and the northern regions of Navarre, Basque, Cantabria, and parts of Burgos given to Wallonia. Spanish General Mr. Orcal published a letter to the Palace of Milan and the Royal Wallon Postal Service from the Palace of Valencia. It quotes, "By order of His Royal Highness, Governor of Lands in Spain, Overseer of Overseas Territories, Duke of Grenada, Brigadier General Mr. Orcal, following a protracted engagement culminating in a decisive setback against the unified armies of Wallonia and Italy, the High Command of the Spanish Armed Forces solemnly announces its acceptance of the terms proposed by the aforementioned coalition. These terms shall henceforth be deemed effective without delay, subject to the specific condition that Italy's allotment therein be reduced by 35% as restitution for their perceived administrative improprieties during the engagement. Given at the Palace of Valencia, this 21st day of June in the year of our Lord 1812, and the 15th year of our reign." End quote. This message alone signals the conclusion of the Spanish-Italian War. After the conclusion of the war, Ahmed later merged Spain into an Austrian nation to get a new fresh start. In conclusion, the Spanish-Italian War is basically if a nation won't listen to someone who wants to make things better for the nation by suggesting reforms, but the high command of that nation won't listen, and the nation leader cries when they defect into another nation because they won't reform, then randomous nations just join in a conflict because of that, and thus ruining that nation's reputation as a whole. Personally, this war is pure chaos. This is like a bomb and someone ignites the said bomb. This entire situation alone is like some Archduke of Austria getting shot by a Serbian nationalist at Sarajevo, and it escalates further, similar to how the British, Wallonians, Russians, Americans, and other nations who intervened in the war because they love Spain or hate Spain, and most of the times, Ahmed and Imperial are the ones who is always busy trashing onto each other in general chat. However, Spain and Italy actually likes each other. It's just the leaders who makes it unnecessarily worse and ruin everything, that always results to war and more suffering, that one of them starts shooting rockets at each other and using civilians as human shields against the IDF soldiers, because Hamas are just a bunch of coward terrorists. Anyways, this war is the second major war in the campaign and tribulation community so far, or if I thought it was. So, if you are leading a nation and its internal problems are bad, just listen to the ones who want reforms, for fuck's sake.